Week magazine. I've covered Angelina Jolie before. I've written about her recent trip to Chad to visit refugees from Darfur. And Darfur is a refugee crisis that I think a lot of people respond to and understand and relate to, partly because Angelina Jolie and other celebrities have embraced the cause of the refugees there. What she's doing now, by going to Syria and to Iraq, is in fact to draw attention to what is a much bigger refugee crisis. There are about 2 million refugees from Darfur. There are 4 million people either displaced internally or refugeed into other countries from Iraq. I think a lot of people are reluctant to address that problem because the whole Iraq war seems so difficult to resolve, so almost impossible to understand at this point, that you feel almost helpless. Well, maybe you are. Maybe it is impossible to solve. But the suffering of the people who are forced out of their homes by ethnic cleansing and torture and warfare and fighting is easy enough to understand. They need help. And that's what the United Nations Refugee Agency is trying to do, and that's what caused Angelina Jolie to go to Syria, to visit refugees who've made it into Syria, but also to go just across the border to the Al-Walid camp, where there are Palestinians who have no place to go. They had found some kind of refuge in Iraq in the past. Now that's gone, and they're a tremendously vulnerable population. But they can't go to the Palestinian territories. They can't go into Jordan. They can't go to Syria. They have no place to be. So she wanted to draw attention to their position and their plight as well. Some of the images are also deeply disturbing. There's one in particular of a young Iraqi man who was horribly tortured by the militias in Baghdad and left for dead. He's burned across his chest. His arms have been burned. It looks as if there's at least one cigarette burn on his shoulder. His face is obscured in the photograph because, frankly, people are still looking for him, and maybe for members of his family who are still in Baghdad. Angelina Jolie talked to him and listened to him and saw his wounds. People need to know what goes on in Iraq, not just as an idea, but as a reality.